8 weeks, 13 families. Every single one walked up to Kennel 6, looked at a 127-pound, all-black Cane Corso, and turned around. Too big, too much, too overwhelming. Then one woman signed the papers, and what happened on her kitchen floor 4 weeks later proved every single one of those 13 families completely wrong. Rachel Monroe was 33 years old, recently divorced and living in a house that had too many rooms and not enough reasons to fill them. She had a steady career as a pediatric occupational therapist, a backyard she kept meaning to do something with, and a silence in the evenings so thick she had started leaving the television on just to hear another voice while she ate dinner. She didn't need anyone, at least that's what she told herself every morning, while drinking her first cup of coffee alone at 6:10 a.m. at a kitchen counter built for a full family. On a Wednesday afternoon in September, Rachel stopped by Millbrook Rescue on her way home from work. She told herself she was just looking. She told herself she wanted something that would keep the house safe, something independent, something that wouldn't need much from her. She found him in Kennel 6. He was all black, from his broad nose to the tip of his tail, 127 pounds of Cane Corso, with a head so massive and wrinkled, it looked like someone had sculpted it from a single piece of midnight. His name was already on the card. Bear, surrendered 8 weeks earlier when his previous owner passed away, and the family wrote 4 words on the intake form: "Too much, we're sorry." 8 weeks at the shelter, 13 families visited. Every single one walked away. Too big, too intimidating, too much. The shelter manager, a woman named Louise, was honest from the first sentence. He eats 9 pounds of food a week by himself. His vet bills will run more than your car payment every quarter. He follows you into every room, every single room, and if you close a door, he sits outside it with his chin on the floor until you open it. He has been here 8 weeks, and not one person has made it through the full visit. He is 127 pounds of dog that does not know how to be less. Rachel looked at Bear. Bear looked at Rachel. Then he did something Louise said she had never seen him do in 8 weeks. He walked slowly to the front of the kennel, sat down, and pressed the side of his enormous wrinkled face against the bars. Not demanding, not performing, just asking. Rachel signed the papers 45 minutes later. The first 72 hours were chaos of a very particular kind. Bear walked through the front door, paused in the entryway for 7 seconds, and climbed onto the couch. Not one cushion, the entire couch. All 3 cushions claimed, legs draping off both ends, the armrest now a pillow for a head the size of a basketball. The couch sank 3.5 inches on contact. Rachel stood in the doorway with her keys still in her hand. She had bought a proper dog bed the day before, memory foam, rated for dogs over 100 pounds. She dragged it out and placed it in the corner of the living room and pointed at it. Bear opened one eye, then he closed it again. By the end of week 1, Rachel had surrendered the couch, 15 inches of her queen mattress, and any possibility of eating dinner without 127 pounds of dog resting his chin on the table edge, watching every forkful travel from plate to mouth. Bear had a particular talent for generating a drool puddle directly below his chin at exactly the moment Rachel lifted her fork. The puddle measured roughly the size of a salad plate. Every single meal without exception. But here is what nobody tells you about Cane Corsos. Beneath those wide foreheads and deep wrinkles and chests built to stop things far bigger than strangers, there is a mind that reads people the way a careful reader reads a book. And Bear had been reading Rachel since the moment she stopped at Kennel 6. 4 weeks in, Rachel had a terrible night. A case she had managed for 6 months, a 7-year-old boy who had finally started making real progress, was transferred to a different facility without warning. She drove home in silence, walked through the front door, put her bag down in the hallway, and sat down on the kitchen floor with her back against the cabinet. Bear came in from the living room, slowly. He didn't jump, he didn't bark. He lowered his full 127 pounds onto the floor next to her and placed his enormous head in her lap without a single sound. He stayed there for an hour and 22 minutes. He did not move until she did. Rachel sat on that kitchen floor at 8:09 p.m. on a Thursday, and for the first time in 9 months, the silence in the house felt different. Not empty, just quiet. That was the night she stopped calling him a guard dog. If you've been watching this far but still haven't subscribed, I'll be honest, that stings a little. Hit that subscribe button. You're gonna want to see what comes next. From that night on, a routine appeared without anyone building it.
Every morning at 6:15 p.m., Bear would position himself at Rachel's bedroom doorway and sneeze. One single, enormous, full-body sneeze that shook his entire face and echoed down the hallway like a starter pistol. Her alarm clock, non-negotiable, more reliable than anything she had ever bought. Bear had his own contribution to the evening ritual. Every night when Rachel's car pulled into the driveway, he would be waiting at the front door with one specific item in his mouth. Not a toy, not a bone, her left slipper. Only ever the left one, placed at her feet the second she crossed the threshold, as if he had appointed himself to this position and had no plans to resign. 5 months after the adoption, on a February night at 3:17 a.m., Rachel woke up to Bear barking, not the low, slow rumble she had come to associate with a passing car or a neighbor's door. This was different, sharp, urgent, continuous, the kind of sound that does not leave room for a second interpretation. She turned on the outside light. A man was standing 20 feet from the door, a bag at his side, completely frozen. He saw Bear through the glass. He saw 127 pounds of all-black Cane Corso locked on him through that glass, and he did not reach for the door handle. He did not move toward the fence. He turned and ran so quickly he left the bag behind in the grass. The police arrived 9 minutes later. The bag contained tools. 3 other homes on Rachel's street had been broken into that same night. Hers was the only one untouched. The same dog 13 families said was too big, the same 127 pounds of too much that Luis warned would follow her into every room. Bear is 4 years old now. He still owns the couch. He still sneezes at 6:15 every single morning without fail. He still brings the left slipper every evening the moment Rachel comes home. The drool puddle at dinner has become a permanent feature that Rachel has stopped apologizing for when guests sit down at the table. Rachel doesn't leave the television on for background noise anymore. She comes home to 127 pounds of loyalty, a 3.5-inch couch dent, a left slipper that never stays in the closet, and a dog who decided she was worth staying beside long before she understood she needed it. When your dog stands at a door and refuses to let something through, believe him. They sense the world in a frequency we lost long ago. That is their world. Respect it. Trust it. And if you're looking at a dog that size and thinking it might be too much, consider this. Sometimes the ones the world calls too much are exactly the amount one person needs. Rachel didn't rescue Bear. Bear rescued her. She just thought she was picking out a guard dog. Would you take a chance on a 127-pound Cane Corso that 13 families walked away from? Tell me in the comments.